Hello guys, it's Chunk here doing another Bakugan discussion, this time actually on BakuNano. BakuNano are a really weird part of Bakugan's history. We first got them in Bakugan Mechtanium Surge as this sort of new piece. They weren't a support piece, you could just kind of have 3 of them in your deck, so it's just kind of more clutter honestly, but they're really interesting because of kind of how they were released and what ended up happening to them. Now BakuNano are by no means uncommon. Most people probably know what you're talking about when you say the term. But when people think of BakuNano, they're probably thinking of 6 in particular, specifically the 6 from Wave 1. With this, we got, of course, MacLeod, which let's go ahead and open all of these up, and you just kind of have them. We got Sonic Cannon, Hammermore, Sling Pike, Hyper Pulsar, and Cross Striker. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave them here because this isn't the focus of the video, but again, here's just kind of a look, like a mess at all of them. But yeah, they're not overly hard to come by. They're actually pretty easy to get, I would say. And for most people, it is just these 6. These are the ones that came out, but there were actually meant to be many more of these. Skipping to Wave 3, we actually had prototypes of each one that was supposed to release, and even a video by Spin Master showcasing all of them. Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, these never came out. There were prototypes, and I believe a few of them have leaked out into the public, but these are factory leaks, not official products. So Wave 3 never was intended for release despite effectively announcing it was. And what's even crazier is that via cards, there are multiple other BakuNano that were meant to be released as well. If there's a list of them, that would imply there was at least a 4th, maybe even a 5th wave of these that were supposed to release. And who knows, these are just the ones that were mentioned, there could have been far more. I wanted to highlight these just because you can kind of get a picture to how weird BakuNano were handled. They kind of just got swept under the rug really quickly. And that cycles back to Wave 2. Wave 2 also, for the vast majority of people, just never released. But unlike Wave 3, they actually did kind of get released. They were very rare and barely anyone owns them, but they actually did leak out into the public, which I do find to be very, very interesting. Back in March of 2011, Bakugan Mechtanium Surge had recently released. In fact, by around the middle of the month, I would say most stores had Wave 1, but it was still just coming out. Wave 2 wasn't really a thought for most people. Again, the season had just come out, Wave 2 wouldn't be out for probably over a month at this point. But one day, I actually went to Toys R Us, and I was looking through the Bakugan section, and I saw the BakuNano, and weirdly, there were just some different BakuNano. I had never seen these before, and upon looking, I believed that I had stumbled upon Wave 2 BakuNano. Naturally, I was very excited, and so I bought them. I had no idea at the time that I was buying some of the rarest things to come out of Gen 1, but I was. I actually made a video on these way back when I first got them, over 14 years ago. The video itself is effectively unwatchable, but I still did talk about them when I got them. So I just want to go ahead and take a look at these because I feel like pretty much no one has them with a few exceptions, so since I have at least one of each, I figured it'd be a good opportunity to actually showcase these since again, there's not a whole lot of information on these. So I guess we'll go ahead and just get started here, and we'll start with Shox Rocks. Shox Rocks is the first one we'll be looking at here, which is kind of obvious, but anyway. So this opens up via a button on the top. You can see it opens up like this, has 50 Gs, at least for this gold one here. And here's what it looks like. This fist pops out, at least kind of looks like a fist anyway. These pieces come outward as well. This kind of lid opens up, get the button still up here. Looks really nice, and my DNA codes have aged really weirdly. Don't mind that, but anyway. So yeah, here it is. It's just a small piece. It's nothing interesting, but these are just really rare, so I wanted to take a look at them. The next one is Slicer X. Slicer X is another fairly basic one. I have a gold one right here. Opens up with this button. Pretty simple. You can also fold these parts out as well. You can technically make them just straight with this, but I always feel like I'm going to break it if I do that, so I'm going to avoid doing that. But yeah, here it is. It's really, really basic. There's just not much to this one at all. And this one is 60 Gs. So yeah, pretty bland, but very hard to come by. Next is Daftrix. Daftrix has like this weird drill type thing going on here. It's like this weird inside, and this is a silver one. Actually press this part here to open it. Opens two sides, and unfortunately you'd have to fold these parts down, but there you go. It's a little bit more dynamic. I mean, this part can kind of move a little bit too. The G power on this one is 50. Yeah, it looks kind of cool from this angle, I guess. So, yeah, pretty interesting. And without question, the coolest of these is Linzato. This is a gold one. So here's Linzato. Looks like this. Just open it up, you can either just pull this or push here, but pull this out, this automatically opens, and then this part you just kind of fold open. So there's another kind of two-part BakuNano similar to Hammermore. This part is just kind of a small piece. And then this part is a shield. You can see this one is 70 Gs, and yeah, just functions like this. It's pretty bland to be honest, but yeah, there you go. And that is each one, but I will put these on a Bakugan just to kind of give you an idea to what these are supposed to look like. So first up, Shox Rock. It's just kind of a Chaos Army BakuNano, so here it is on a Flash Ingram. It looks kind of stupid, but yeah, it was just kind of used like this, so... And there you have it. I guess I can zoom out a little bit to give a better view there, but... Yeah. Just attaches and does this. So there you go. Now for Slice Rex, unfortunately I don't actually have a Crowl, which is the Bakugan it's meant to go on. So I decided to grab a Chaos Meta Dragonoid because the BakuNano slot for it is at least like sorta similar. I thought it just looked kinda cool. So here it is. Good to see it kind of pops up. Looks really strange, but yeah, it kinda did have like this weird vertical thing, so. There you go, it's a kind of just like this. I guess it'd be more like this probably, but still. Definitely looks cool, almost looks like giant horns when it's on this, but yeah. Was used kind of awkwardly, I feel, physically, but still interesting nonetheless. Now for Daftrix, I unfortunately don't own a Ventus Spyron, but I do have a Spyron in some form, so here it is. And this one looks just really, really great. Like the cross on the back with the wings here, the folded arms. This one is really, really cool looking. Really big fan of this one, so definitely a favorite of mine. I kind of want to get a Ventus Spyron just to have this thing complete because it just looks really cool like this. And finally, we of course have Linzato, and fortunately I do own a Chaos Wolferio, so here it is. It is one of the rarest setups in Gen 1 of Bakugan, but here it is, so there's that side, and that side, which looks really nice, and then also just a back view here. But yeah, this thing is really, really cool. Definitely a great, like, knight looking Bakugan, I would say. And there you have it, the Wave 2 BakuNano. Again, I feel like these are just some of the most elusive things from Gen 1, at least in terms of things that, you know, actually did release. So I figured, well, I do own them, so because, like, no one else really talks much about these, I should probably do it because, you know, just for the sake of documentation. And I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about BakuNano, because again, I just feel like BakuNano in general are sort of a niche topic, which is for good reason. They weren't really a great piece in the game, but they're still part of Bakugan's history, so I thought it would at least make for something interesting. But anyways, hopefully the video did turn out interesting enough, so that's all I gotta say. But anyways, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.